We know what we are. We know what we are.
Champions Europe. We know what we are.
Always going to start on a good note. Big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. It's 3 p.m. You know what time it means. It's back for another stream on Carefree Lewis G. We got the gang, the panel here as well. Smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. And I think that's where all the positivity ends, because all the Lukaku hype and the agenda is officially in the mud. Romelu Lukaku has pledged his allegiance to Inter Milan. He said, I am staying at Inter. I've already had contact with new manager Inzaghi. Maybe I shouldn't say that yet, but it was a very positive conversation. And I feel good at Inter Milan. Literally, the last piece of news we were hoping to expect coming into the Euros. But does that necessarily mean that the entire issue between Lukaku and Chelsea is over? Or do you feel like it's a case that Romelu Lukaku is trying to get the right fee for Inter Milan before he leaves? It could be a case of both ways. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here because I really want to see this guy come to Chelsea. I've said Lukaku has been my number one striker target. It's either him, Kane, Erling Haaland, or nobody really, because I don't want to see us just get another scrub up front and then just have the same problem that we've had for the last 5 years. I say we should still push. Wait, who did I miss?
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski ain't coming, bro.
No, it's still possible.
Do you man actually think this is possible?
Still possible.
If they get Haaland, then yeah, it's very possible.
But no, we're talking about this summer, not next summer.
Yeah, but this is why I don't think Haaland happens, because I think Haaland's waiting until next year and then he goes to Bayern Munich and then they get rid of Lewandowski. So I don't see him leaving this summer anyway.
No, he's
not. Right offer.
I can't lie.
After
After what happened last night, I would think it's Haaland still possible, but it's up to him whether he likes our project for next season or not. But
I don't think it's all done yet with Lewandowski. I mean, not Lewandowski. With what's his name?
Lukaku.
Lukaku. I don't think it's all done yet with Lukaku, but he's made a big pledge to Inter Milan, and it's a question of whether he's been real about it or whether he's been a smokescreen. But we still have to put the bid in first to find out. That's the way I view it.
This is not the first time he's done this to us. He did it with United, going to United over us. So, you know, it just shows that he's not at our level. He's got tiny, tiny, tiny balls between his legs, so he can stay down there and enter. He might be a big man, but he got tiny balls.
How are we questioning his manhood on this, though?
Oh, my days. First of all, the Man United situation is a completely different story, innit? We were trying to get him on the cheap. It didn't happen. Marino was trying to play tough ball, and guess what? Man United came in and said, we'll pay the money. He said, Chelsea don't look like they really want me because they're not looking to pay the money. And he did what he did, bruv. Like, as much as I wasn't happy with the decision, it's our fault at the end of the day for pussyfooting around and not actually doing what we were meant to do. I don't think that he deserves the blame for that. This one, for me, I think it's more of a PR thing. I do think that the saga is definitely not over. I think what it's more about is that Lukaku probably just doesn't want to ruffle any feathers just in case anything doesn't happen, because he's learned from his past in terms of what happens when it comes to negotiation table. And he's going to say what makes the fans of the team that he currently plays for happy. And that is to say that, you know what? I'm sticking around. I'd love to win another one, which is exactly what he said, to be honest. He didn't say it's ruled out, I'm not going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. He's just said that he's not necessarily pushing for shit.
No, I'm just saying that's why he's got more pace in Inter than he did at United, because he lost his balls. He can run faster. He got nothing dragging him down.
To me, it's like literally the same thing Hazard did the other day, where he was like, "Oh, I'm not happy for Chelsea. Like I'm at Real. I'm a Real player." It's like these guys have to cover their ass in case they end up staying where they're at. You can't come out and say like, "Oh, I'm leaving Inter. I want to go to Chelsea," and then that deal doesn't happen, and now you've got to go back to the Inter fans.
But you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything.
I know. Yeah, he should have just stayed quiet and let it play out. But I still have to think if a big bid comes in for him, Inter they're going to have to think about it, because they need to generate funds. So if a big bid of a 70 million bid comes in for Lukaku, you got to think he would be more than fine with coming back to Chelsea. I mean, if Wayne's been on the inside of this for a while. If we've been talking to him for that long, then there's some general interest there in him coming back to Chelsea. So
yeah, but he just gave us the
let it play
finger
out
on TV. He gave us the finger, said, "I want to stay. I'm happy at Inter. I want to stay here."
Well, he's not going to say.
Yeah, but it's happened before. Like someone said in the chat earlier, like Fabian Delph had the same situation where he said he wanted to stay at Aston Villa over Man City and turned his back within a week. Zane just basically put the Tammy Abraham chant. No, Tammy Abraham is not going to be the answer just yet. Like I still say we need to loan Tammy Abraham first, but he still has to sort out the contract negotiations first. But Tammy wasn't the answer this season, so he isn't going to be the answer next season either. We have to get a proper striker, or at the worst case scenario, we just push Kai Havertz more because he has still looked promising in the final few weeks of the season. And if we're going to do that, we go and get another winger instead.
So if Tammy's the answer, it's a dumb question.
Why?
So that's
right now.
That's my. We didn't even give him a chance. How's that a dumb question though?
Because he is what he is, and he's not a complete striker. He is. If he doesn't score, he does nothing else for you. He doesn't link up play. He's not going to create for somebody else. He is just, quite frankly, a scorer of goals, which is great. That's what you want from your striker. But if you're talking about levels, he's a level under what we need as a striker. So you cannot continue with somebody that's never going to reach the level you want to reach.
You don't know if he's never going to reach that level.
Well, I trust the people who make those decisions, and Thomas Tuchel doesn't think he's gonna reach that potential. That's why he hadn't played, because he doesn't fit in with the squad.
Thomas Tuchel's also been playing Marcos Alonso, and I don't think he's good enough. Like, bro, managers get shit wrong sometimes, innit? I think it all comes down to
Alonso
giving
a couple
people
times.
Huh?
He has to play Alonso sometimes because you've got to give Chilwell a bit of a rest. Like that. Yeah. It's not like you trust
you
Alonso.
Play Emerson instead, but he plays Marcos Alonso. Do you get what I mean?
But Alonso does offer more than Emerson. No offense to Emerson, like he does offer more an attack.
He has to play. He has to play Alonso. He doesn't have to play Tammy. Like he can play Werner. He can play Havertz. He can mix them around. He doesn't have to play Tammy. He has to play Alonso.
For me, I'm just of the opinion that Tammy's not been given a fair chance. And if he flops under that fair chance, then you know what, I understand. Then he's not good enough. But to sit out here and say that, you know what, he's just not good enough. I'm like, we haven't really given him the fair chance to tell us whether he is or not, to be honest.
But we technically did in 1920, though, and he's had a fair amount of game time in the first half of this season as well. It's not like we haven't given him a chance; it's just we haven't given him a full season of chances. But I also don't think his game has justified that.
Also under a top manager, you see, under Tuchel, he might actually progress into a very, very saucy striker. We don't know until he plays.
We don't know. I'm not out here saying. Go ahead, sorry, Johnny.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got to play. Like, I still don't think he's going to stay. I think he'll go. I think it seems like Tuchel's made his mind up, and I've said it from day one. If Chelsea win the Champions League, and we have done, then that means our whole transfer window, our whole plans, all change. And someone like Haaland is realistic now for me, because I think he's tempted by us. He's looking at the age of our squad. He's got longevity. We're still in transition. We're still building, and we've just won the Champions League, and we've got an elite manager. They're all the minerals you need to be great, and I think he'll want to be part of that. If I'm Haaland, I'm thinking, I want to be part of that. Real Madrid have got too much rebuilding to do. They haven't got money.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich are basically, it's like they're just guaranteed to win the Bundesliga every season. So it's like, for me, that's the easy route for Haaland. I think if he wants to prove, most players that are in the playing on the European stage, they're not regarded as like. They can be regarded as greats, but what I mean is until they go to the Premiership, that's when you prove your level. Because there's a lot of players that have done it in Italy and Spain. And they've come to Premiership and they haven't been at the races. They like when we signed Shevchenko. I know the age was a bit of a factor, but we saw how good he was at AC Milan, and then he would come to us and completely different player because it's a whole different league. And I think Haaland will suit the Premiership. He will suit the Premiership. Well, I think paying the money is worth it.
I think in time, and if Lukaku's off the table and we really have to get a striker, maybe we are going to have to put all our cards on the table like that.
Well, see, we can offer what most people.
The question that you need to be asked: if you're in Haaland's position, is he going to like our project?
I think
he wouldn't. He's playing with everybody his age. He's got the core group is his, around his age. We just won the Champions League. Yeah. We're in line if he comes to win everything next year. So you write your name in as the deciding piece of winning a quadruple.
I think for Haaland, I would move. I'd go Chelsea. Honestly, I'm not just saying that because I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm looking at the side we got: the Havertz, Werner, Pulisic. We've got Odoi. We've got Mount. I mean, they're all babies, man. All of them.
And don't forget, Haaland has no Euros this summer. He's got literally 2 months of holiday.
Yes, he's gonna be fresh. Yeah, he's gonna be fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess those are your main options, right? So if Lukaku's off the table, you go all in for Haaland, and they'll give him whatever money they want, give him a player, whatever they need.
Yeah.
If you can't get Haaland, I mean, we're going to have to replace 2 strikers. So it's going to be slim pickings to fill in 2 positions, basically 3, because we really need 3 strikers. If you cannot get one, I think what Lewis says is right. You make Havertz your striker. You bring in Sancho, something like that, as an attacking winger. But if your main targets are off the table, it's going to be real slim pickings to fill in those 3 striker spots for next year, given that Giroud and Tammy both go, which I think we're all in agreement that they probably will. You already basically don't really have a striker if we're not considering Werner like a true number 9. You're looking at three positions that you're going to have to bring players in. Now, they'll all be different levels. Maybe you can keep a Broja as a 3rd striker, but you're going to have to go in and all in on Haaland at that point if Lukaku's off the table.
Haaland's the only option because Kane's not coming.
We're not getting Kane. We're not. I don't see any scenario where Bayern sell Lewandowski this summer, even for a 50-60 million, because they won't have a striker until the following summer. So I don't see them selling him at all, and I think that would be an insane fee for someone his age.
What if I've got a little sprinkler for you if you want a minute.
Yeah.
Big up Myron saying...
Got a bit of a Johnny Sprinkler for you in a minute.
Yeah, the Johnny Sprinkler, yeah, mate. You know about the Johnny Sprinkler.
I've got
Big
a
up
bit of a
Myron
Johnny
saying...
Sprinkler.
One sec. Myron saying Lukaku knows the grass isn't always greener. If a woman rejects you, don't hang about moping. You move on to the next. Haaland for €120. Come on. €120 would probably be a good reduction of the 150 at least.
Yeah, because you got to remember.
We even try and put a player in the deal if we wanted to, or 2 of them.
Havertz was up for 100. Leverkusen wanted 100 million, and they didn't get it. And there's no one to bid with us. There's no bidding war happening because no one's got the money. So
if we start it though, we could trigger other teams getting involved.
Like who? The only other team's Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich would want him to wait a year anyway, and then get him on the cheap.
Yeah, but that's the point. We're in a position where we can say to him, "Look, we've just won the Champions League. We're going to go and win more titles."
Yeah, but he's also in a position where Dortmund have made top 4, so he doesn't necessarily need to leave now. He could just wait that year.
No, but it's different when you've seen a club like when you've seen our team actually win it. The buzz around the club, the buzz around the manager, and the players.
Wait a year, go to Bayern and win it numerous times.
Well, I don't think Bayern is like set in stone. I think there's quite a bit of play to happen yet with Haaland. I think everyone who's just assuming that he's going to go to Bayern Munich, there's no other club apart from us and City that would put money down. And we know how City do business. The owners have come out and said that they're going to basically be a bit, be ruthless in the transfer market. Fair play to them, but Haaland might not be, being ruthless. Are they really going to go and spend 150, 40 million on one player? I doubt it. I think they're going to look at buying like 2, maybe 3 players of good quality to blend in with what they got. Whereas we can go and pay. We've just won the Champions League. We've got the royalty money, sponsorship money. We've made top 4 as well. Like, it's all done. Like, we've got the cherry on the icing and the cherry on the cake, which is we've won the thing. We've won it. And I think that, like with Hazard, it just has I feel it just adds more to your transfer negotiations, because we are showing progression, but we've sort of exceeded that showing progression by winning the Champions League. Now it's like we've won it. All our players have got a winning mentality, and they're young players who are hungry for more. Haaland would be perfect to just slot in. It'd be perfect. And he could stay with us for 5 years and then go to a Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, wherever he wants to go. It could be the perfect move for him.
So what, we would be Haaland's stepping stone club then?
To an extent, but not. Look, I don't think he's like world class yet. He's obviously a very special talent. I think he needs to prove it in the Premiership. Bundesliga for me is not enough. We've seen that with Werner. Like the adjustment is huge. It's such a big gap. So if he does come to us and he performs, he's going to win titles. Like Havertz, you could say his dream is to go to Real Madrid, right, or Bayern Munich. But he's come to Chelsea, and he's won his first Champions League trophy after his first summer coming to us. Like, that's going to stay in his heart for the rest of his career, for the rest of his life. Like, that feeling he's got is with Chelsea, and he's going to add more titles. He might not necessarily go. It depends what the other big clubs are doing, whether they're going to progress and spend in the market and build a great team. But right now, we are still building, and we're already building a great side, a scary side.
Wayne, what you got? What you got, Wayne?
Dynasty.
Oh, here we go.
Agent Molds, come on, man. Let's have it.
Come on.
Well, I think you guys are looking into it too much about Lukaku anyway. I just think it's too early to even say. I know what he's come out, but I just think that's just for the new manager's just been appointed, and I think he's waiting to see if Conte goes to Spurs as well. Because if Conte goes to Spurs, I'm not sure he will want to play for us in that case against Conte, because he's a big fan of him, and he might try and go there. But the sprinkler I've got is, we're talking about Haaland, and no, don't get me wrong, I rate Haaland too. But there's a striker who'll be cheaper, who scored more goals than Haaland in the Bundesliga. Andre Silva. He'd be a lot cheaper. He's maybe not as good as the Haaland, but he'd be a good striker to be in with the Havertz and that, and he has proven he can score goals.
Has he been doing that for consistent seasons, or has he just had one good season?
No.
He flopped in Serie A.
No.
Well, yeah, he's got the Serie A, but you're saying that. But is the Serie A the same as the Premier League?
But he flopped.
Yeah, but Lukaku's actually done it in the Premier League. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that about Lukaku. I'm not speaking Lukaku. I'm on about Haaland. We're talking about Haaland. And if Haaland comes over and flops, same thing.
He's different gravy.
That's been my reservation about Haaland in itself.
Haaland will
there
not
is
flop.
other options there. And the other option you have got as well is, and I've heard this numerous occasions, they could go all out for Sancho if they don't get a striker, and play Sancho as a striker with Havertz, with Werner. That could happen. But what I'm saying to you guys is, you just don't look into it with Lukaku too much, because I think there's still lots of stuff to be covered there. And I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the summer, by any transfer window, he's a Chelsea player.
Big up Nicholas Earl as well, saying if Haaland comes, we'll have a weekly Raiola interview telling us his true destinies at Real Madrid. That's one of my biggest worries.
Yeah.
If Haaland gets better and then he starts becoming a proper prick with contract negotiations, that's looking too far down the line. You're right, Wayne, in saying that Lukaku isn't necessarily over yet, but he's made a big statement of intent to stay at Inter Milan. We just have to actually make the move and try and actually test Inter Milan, because we know they still have to sell players as well. If we put a big bid in for Romelu Lukaku, who's to say they say no? Who's to say they say yes? We have to put the bid in and we have to find out first. But we know at the very least, Lukaku is trying to be respectful to Inter Milan. So he isn't going to try and force his way out. He isn't going to hand in no transfer requests or nothing like that, even though I don't think anybody thought that in the first place. I don't think it's over yet. We really have to make a push for it first, and then we'll find out whether he really wants to keep his feet on the ground at Inter Milan, or if he's looking at both sides of the coin. We'll have to wait and see.
Look,
I see you. I've already sent you a link. Go on, Jester.
So let's talk about the Dortmund situation first. If Haaland goes, you're most likely losing Haaland and Sancho. We can offer them 2 players to fill those roles. We can offer them we can offer them Tammy and Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I'm not talking about a loan for Callum. I'm talking about selling him. Because if they know that he will be their player, they're more than likely to jump on that. So you're talking about winger done, and you're talking about striker done for them. Plus, they'll get cash to invest or pay off debt. I would go big. I would go both of them in £80 million.
That's for who?
Well, and they'll be able to sell Callum to Bayern.
That's be mad.
So, an 80 million for who? Haaland?
Yes.
That's too much for me.
No, it isn't. They're only worth 70 combined. Cho and Tammy.
Wait, how much is Cho to you right now?
Cho is £30 million.
Nah.
I think
that is what
the contract is there.
Nah.
I know, but look
worth more than that.
Jester, can I tell you something? How much did Bayern Munich want him for his contract? Like 35?
I actually think they offered €80 million for
80?
him. Yeah.
I don't know if it's 80. I knew the legit one was like 35 to 40. That was like the real deal.
Offered, yeah.
And then 80 got thrown around, but I think Hudson-Odoi is worth like 50 million easy.
Okay, I'm telling you what the market is saying.
The market values, yeah. But you know how football gets crazy at times, don't you? Like even their value's a lot lower. Like we bought Kepa, who was like valued at 18 million, I think.
Yeah, but that was a release worth like 70 million. He's not. He's worth like 200 mil easy right now.
So, again, you only get your young English thing if you're going Premier League club to Premier League club. The clubs outside of England do not get English tax for English players because they're not in England anymore. So forget about English tax. No, I'm talking about the people in chat. Forget about English tax.
Well, and you got to think Dortmund will sell Cho to Bayern in 2 years anyway.
Right. And so there you go. Their needs are met. We get Haaland. If we have Haaland, you don't need a Tammy and you don't need a Callum because then you've got an extra person.
You need a Doy in your side, man.
Why?
Because he can play right wing back and he can play left or right.
If they bring in Adama Traore,
it's really hard for me to envision selling.
They're not going to sell Cho.
Right,
they won't sell Cho. And
not
Adama
right
Traore,
we
I
regret
believe
that
it.
so badly.
He ain't coming. Why would he? Nah, man. Why would I don't see him coming? He's not. He's playing first team football. What makes you think he's just going to come to Chelsea, sit on the bench?
Who?
At Wolves? He's at Wolves.
Yeah,
it's not hateful on Cho.
He's playing every game. Like he's like one of their most important players, if not them. Why would he go to Chelsea and just be a bench player?
And we don't know if we're playing a back three.
To play meaningful games.
When you've got a Cho who respects the manager, respects his teammates, and knows when his time will come, he'll come on and play. But other than that, he'll be on the bench. Like I just don't see that happening.
Well, I like
Cho will be a better player anyway.
I like Callum. I rate him. I just don't see in this current team where he really fits in long term, especially. But if you're telling me I can get Haaland for Cho, I'll take that 100 times over. I mean,
no, because you'll get rid of Giroud and you get rid of Tammy, all right? And then I think you get rid of a Barkley.
Yes,
that's more than enough to cover. That's more enough to cover paying them their cash. More than enough.
I know. I think,
and we've made money from winning the Champions League. Like, we've got the money. It's just what we're prepared to pay.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about us spending. We can spend whatever we want. I mean, we're like probably one or two clubs in the world who can just say we will pay that fee. But I think they're in a position that Dortmund just have a huge upper hand on us right now as far as not having to sell him. So if you can sweeten the deal with some players and some cash.
Yep.
It's tough. It's tough because it all depends on if Lukaku was just posturing or not. If he was just,
I don't think he'll come.
I think they don't have to sell him, but like if the price is right, they'd be willing to sell him. But that depends on if we're willing to pay those prices.
Raiola gets more money next year, though. He might try to persuade him to stay.
Yeah, because obviously there's more clubs, and if you have a bidding war, then it just means you get more money in it.
And we're not necessarily building a ton of financial value on Callum right now anyway, because he's not playing that much. So you're not really every projection on his price is just based off of speculation on his talent. I mean, it's not like he's played 20 games, scored 10 goals, and like there's some real potential there. Like it's that fee is just something we're speculating on based off of his potential talent.
Josh, there's a bunch of ignorant people in the comments. There are a bunch of ignorant people in the comments. Let me tell you something. First of all, Callum Hudson-Odoi cannot hold Pulisic's jock. He is levels below Christian Pulisic. Second of all, you don't get rid of somebody who's bringing you a pipeline into the richest country in the world to grow your fan base and to bring more revenue into your club. You don't do that. That's dumb business. Okay? So I don't want to hear, Callum's better than Pulisic. Not even in his best day.
Bro, come on.
Well, they're different. I'll tell you something.
I wouldn't say yet.
The difference I see
is the thing. Wait. I wouldn't say it yet, but I would say we can't really judge the future. 3-4 years time, it could go either way, especially with Pulisic's injury record, because it really could go one way or the other for both of them. Right now, I think Hudson-Odoi's got so much bags of potential, and we've seen so many good glimpses of it. Right now, Pulisic is clear of Hudson-Odoi, though. It is what it is. Like, no one.
When they were asked, I think it was Rudiger and another player. They were asked who's the most talented, baller, most technically gifted baller, and they all named. They named Pulisic, and they went, "Oh no!" Rudiger went, "No, it's got to be Caltech." He's our most gifted player.
No, he's not.
But he is. But he's
not. Just because he came out of the academy doesn't mean
it's not about him coming out of the academy. It's the fact that Bayern Munich wanted to pay 40 million for what was he? 18. He was 18.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Turned 18 as well.
AV says, let's not be delusional like our London peers. Cho isn't worth more than 30. There's many players in that position. Same for Tammy, maybe 20% more. I think Cho's worth 40, to be honest. I feel like we could sell him for that.
He's worth more.
He's worth at least
50.
We also shouldn't forget that we need a new stadium, and importantly, not to rely on personal debt from the owner. If he sells, our model ain't sustainable. That's why we're so focused on getting into the top 4 every season, because we're trying to be sustainable. But yeah, back to the Hudson-Odoi Pulisic. Hudson-Odoi could be at that level in a matter of years. He just needs to get that regular game time first. Yeah. He hasn't had that at Chelsea.
Pulisic is 21, going on 22. Odoi's what? 19?
20 going on 21.
He's just turned 20. And at 18, he was valued at 40 million. And we bought Pulisic for what? 51 million. 50. So it's like 11 million apart.
58.
Yeah, and look at the age difference.
Yeah, but Chris, there's
clear
Pulisic,
talent there.
I don't think you can underestimate the fact that Pulisic is, and I mean this in all sincerity, he is an international superstar. Like in the United States, Christian
But that's
Pulisic.
branding you're talking about.
Because of
Yeah, but that's
worth
worth a lot. It's worth a lot. And he's a fantastic footballer too. Like it's not just the fact that he gives you this pipeline to the States. He's also a fantastic footballer. And I just like Cho, we can speculate on his value, but that's still, we're basing it off of just pure. We're hoping he turns into like a Sancho or something like that. Like we're hoping that.
Are you, man? Less of the anti-say shit in the comment section. Come on, man. Like I'm not letting that run. Still, Santana saying, Mr. Jester, Cho has the second highest assist ratio on our team. Put some respect on his name. By the way, he's only 20 years old. No need to slander Cho.
Look, it wasn't about slandering Cho. I was responding to the comments in the chat.
What?
And the truth is,
why are you selling
as of right now,
your highest prospect in your squad? Why would you sell
that? Doesn't make sense. That's all I've been saying as well.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't.
Cho is not the highest prospect in our system right now. First of all, Mason Mount is a better player than Cho,
Mason
right?
Mount's proven. Mason Mount's proven.
Okay. It's the same age group, though. It's the same age group.
He's actually like 2 years old.
One at a time, though.
I'm talking about him being a prospect. He's not a prospect. Billy Gilmore's a prospect. Cho's a prospect. They're prospects. Reece James ain't a prospect. He's proven now.
How is Cho a prospect? He's been with the first team for 2 years.
He's been a bit part player. He's been bit part.
He played.
He's not. It's like when Foden was slowly eased in with City. He's still a prospect. He's not like set in stone in that side like Mount and James is, and that's what Cho is right now. Cho is like Foden.
We're gonna.
I'm just telling you.
So
if Dortmund says you have to throw Cho in the deal to get Haaland, Cho is gone.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Chelsea won't do that.
Are you crazy? Are you literally insane?
Why we offer them a higher contract.
They don't need to sell Cho to get Haaland. They can go.
I just gave you a hypothetical. If Dortmund said we want Cho in the deal, or you can't have Haaland, Cho is out the door.
No, he's not.
Nah,
that's your opinion.
We won't need.
At that point, I might agree with Tess at that point.
You guys, if it's down to us getting Haaland or us selling Cho, we will take Haaland 100% of the time.
Right. If that was the case, we would have sold him to Bayern.
You're going to need
because then you're not getting anything but money for him if you sell him to Bayern.
What do you mean? There's stuff saying Hakimi.
We increase his contract. We know the potential in Cho. Cho would have been gone a long time ago if we didn't see anything in him.
Cho's just won the Champions League with Chelsea. He don't want to go, man. He doesn't want to leave.
Listen, I like Callum. I'm not arguing. He's got amazing potential, but I'll take Haaland 10 times out of 10 over Cho.
And Tuchel loves him. Tuchel loves him, man. Trust me, he loves Cho.
What do you
Big
think?
up Aaron as well, saying Cho is clear of Pulisic. What's this guy on about? Pulisic brings shirt sales and overseas support, nothing more. So this is the thing. We're saying let's not slander Cho, but now we're turning back around and
exactly. We don't need
both ways.
We don't need.
We don't slander either. And I'll tell you why. Cho Pulisic on his day is like.
Oh, Myron, I said you a long time ago, bro.
He's unplayable. And I respect like Pulisic when he's fit and on his day he's our best player attacking wise.
And
there's no question about that. But what I'm saying to you is Cho has the potential to be like that. He's shown glimpses, especially under Sarri, after he got the injury. He needs to be nurtured and eased in, but he's too big of a prospect to just throw in just to get Haaland. You don't need to do that.
But let's put it.
And Cho could play more positions
because there's no one better than Cho. Right at that age who can play competitive games at high level, right? In our squad, name me a player you can go and buy like Cho, and there's hardly any around.
My guy, you literally said he doesn't bring anything to the table except shirt sales. That's slander, my G. Sorry, man.
You'll have to go and buy Sancho if you want to get.
Who did the last two managers play more, Pulisic or Callum? And I'm talking Frank as well. Because it wasn't Callum.
Sorry.
Yeah, but he come off the injury, John.
No, Tuchel's done like a bit of both. To be honest,
we're not just wasting a spot on the field for a guy who sells shirts. He's playing because he's levels above the other guy right now. Yeah, and I'm not saying he's a million times better than Cho. I'm just saying right now he offers us more than Cho.
He's
My
not. He's
only
not a
playing
potential.
because
It depends
what
when
he's
he's
playing.
on.
Let's get it right.
My
He's
only
on.
problem with
Proven.
Pulisic is his
Proven.
availability, and that's it. The quality is clearly there, and when he doesn't look like he's playing well, he looks like he's second guessing his own body, and that's the worry for me. It's only availability. I feel like if you could have this guy for a full season and he was fully fit, you'd have a baller on your hands. But the only problem is he gets injured half the time, and then he always takes a while to get back up to speed, and then he gets
And that's
another
more of a
injury,
reason
and
to
it's a
sell
revolving
too.
circle.
So
That's my issue with Pulisic.
Can I-
But
can
that's
I
Can I
the
say
only one.
something?
It's a fair criticism. I mean,
So
Well,
here's
wait,
my
wait.
thing. Here's my
Just
thing.
hold up.
My
Just
last thing on
go.
Pulisic. If he
Wayne, go
does-
through, and then we'll go Jesters.
Right.
Damn.
Me and Jess is a while back now. We had a bit of a conversation about it because I said Cho's better than Pulisic. I don't know if Jess remembers that, but it was on Sadiq's channel. But we had a bit of a conversation first time I met him. But the truth is, if we're going to be honest, right, and I'm going to have to be honest here, Tuchel, when it's been important games with the Real Madrids, to big games in the Premier League, to Champions League final, the only one player he brought on. He didn't bring on Hudson-Odoi. He brought on Pulisic. And that's because he trusts Pulisic more. Now, if Hudson-Odoi goes in that deal with Haaland, if he did, yes, the deal would be done. Not matter, I know how we feel about him because he's a youth player, comes from our project, the potential's there. But we've got to be a realist person here. It's not only because of the shirt sales and being America, it's about what the manager sees in the players.
Well,
And
Pulisic holds
unfortunately,
the
at the
ball, Wayne,
moment, he
better at
sees
this moment.
Pulisic above Hudson-Odoi. He sees Pulisic above majority of our wing players. So Hudson-Odoi at the moment, if you've not noticed, is on the bottom, unfortunately, of the wing players. Unfortunately, even Ziyech is above him. What I still would rather get rid of Ziyech over both of them. But that is the truth. And we can't keep on slandering each and other people or because of their opinions. The truth is what we see in front of us. And that's what Pulisic, and that's the truth with Tuchel. He prefers, at the moment, everyone else above Hudson-Odoi as a winger. And we've got to accept that. As a Chelsea fan base, we need to accept that. We can't do nothing about it. We can't physically go to Tuchel, we're going to blackmail you unless you play Hudson-Odoi. It doesn't work like that. The truth is how he sees the game. And he sees the game more clearly than any of us can see it.
What I'd
Well,
say, Wayne, what I'd say,
he's not going to use him next year.
is if the only way that they want Cho is because they're going to sell what's his name, Sancho to United, yeah. So then Cho, in Dortmund's eyes, Cho would be the perfect replacement for Sancho. So I get what you're saying, Jester. Yeah, and Wayne as well. That could happen, sadly. But I think Chelsea will play they'll play hard to let Cho go. Like, they won't let him go that easy. I think they would rather pay the money, to be honest. And my concern with letting Cho go is Tuchel does play him right wing back more so than left or right. So if Cho does go, your only right back options are Reece James and Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta is not going to play as many games, I don't think. And Reece James might be more favoured as a right centre-back, or if there's an injury with Christensen or whatever. So you're going to be light in that department.
But what happened if we go to back four? If we go to back four, what happened with Cho then?
If you're going to back four...
He gets used more as a winger.
Yeah, you'd use him as an
He gets
actual
more
winger,
game time then.
which is
Definitely
actually what his position is. That's his position. And I think in certain games, especially the Premiership, he'd be balling. He'd be balling. He just needs that chance.
So
He's only
I think
I'm going to finish. I want to finish this point.
Before you go on, of all the players that we're going to let go, yeah, I think Cho would give us the biggest bite back.
100%. Do you know what the thing is? Look, the context that's not being used here, yeah? Pulisic is someone that's played under Tuchel before, and therefore he's going to be more trusting of it. That's very easy to say. For me, I like Pulisic, I like Cho, and I'm never going to stand at either one of the players. But let's not forget that Cho is someone that's clearly not been given the right amount of minutes to show his actual potential. And if we don't do that and we sell him like we are trying to do right now, it's the same issue I've been talking about for years. We are so bad at recognizing the talent that we have in front of our eyes until somebody else does, and now suddenly we want to pay that price for him. What's the point? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We can clearly see the potential there. We need to invest. That's literally what needs to be happening. But no, because we see Haaland and someone else has given him the minutes, we want to go pay that price and screw over one of our own very talents. That to me is where we don't make sense. Honestly speaking, as much as I respect what you're saying, Jester, in terms of Pulisic being someone that's delivered on big occasion, which he has, it's because he's been given the opportunity to do so. I can't say for me right now that if Cho hasn't been given the same freaking chance that Cho wouldn't deliver. Cho would deliver, but give him the minutes because he's not getting Mason Mount minutes out here.
Cho can do anything that Pulisic did towards the end of the season. Pulisic was non-existent.
You want to talk about slander to say that, Callum would have done the same thing that Pulisic does.
He could.
No, he can't. They're different players. He doesn't have the same skill set. They don't have the same skill set. Okay? Callum has a different skill set to Pulisic. How they play on the wings is different.
They are different, yeah. They are.
Pulisic can play right and left because Pulisic has a left foot, which Callum does not have. Okay?
Yeah, big up AV saying when Cho cuts the Real Madrid defense and scores the Champions League semi-final goal that decides our fate, we can compare him and Pulisic. Does need to get played on the big stage first. Artem saying would only sell Cho with a buyback clause. Yes. You know what? As long as we hold ourselves down in some case, I would find a way to be okay with that. It's as long as we don't do no De Bruyne bullshit and just say, there you go and be good somewhere else.
The reason Pulisic pays more and he played in the final is because his actual hold-up play is better than Cho. Cho loses the ball too much. He needs to improve that part of his game. He needs to improve a lot of part of his game. And the reason Lampard didn't play him because defensively he wasn't good enough. Tuchel's improved that, but he's still got a long way to go. And he's still younger than Pulisic. Pulisic is above him. Like right now, of course he is. On his days, he's unreal, but Cho has huge potential, and I think if we have the chance to keep him and not put him part of the deal, and we've got an option to do that, then I think Chelsea will do that. If there's no way and Dortmund want him as part of the deal, then yeah, probably it will happen because Haaland is the most sought after striker in world football right now.
This is a big summer for Cho as well. He's not got any international football as well this summer with the under-21s. They got knocked out. Didn't get in the senior squad. If he can have a big summer, try get into the team and hopefully he stays.
And don't forget, Cho's cost us nothing except a contract. Yeah,
I'd like to finish.
It's cost us
point.
nothing.
Finally,
go on, Jesters.
So again, my reaction was to people in the chat. So don't think that I think Cho is somehow a crap player. It's not what I think. He's not at Pulisic's level right now as of today. And if you're looking to bring in a Haaland and you have to give up a Callum Hudson-Odoi to bring in a Haaland, you do that business. If you don't do that business, you're an idiot. Because Haaland is a generational talent. He is like Kai Havertz. Cho is not a generational talent since he's been injured. He lost a little something with an Achilles injury. If you think you can do an Achilles and come back at the same level you were before, you're absolutely wrong. You have to learn to run differently and everything else.
Yep.
It's not the same.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point about the injury. That is a fair point. But what I will say is Cho's younger than say Loftus-Cheek, who's got the ability to overrun that injury. But I think this word generational was thrown around way too much, man, way too easily. Like
save the word generational for the real generational talent.
I love that.
Yo, you just can't
money on there, man. Money on there.
My final point on Pulisic is I'm gonna say something that nobody would ever expect. if Pulisic cannot stay healthy this next season and be available for most of our games and does not improve over last year, he should be sold next summer.
I think that's.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair too. Like that's a fair point.
So
yeah, I agree with that.
So
I think that
I am Chelsea above any player. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Pulisic is my favorite player, but I take Chelsea over Pulisic any day of the week.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I'm a huge Callum fan. Before he got injured, when he was playing under Sarri, I was like, you couldn't help but think like, oh man, the next couple of years are going to be very bright with how he's playing. He got injured. The coaches were slow to bring him back on. So now there's a little bit more of a question mark of what he's going to turn into. So I agree with you, Johnny, in the sense that if you can get Haaland without having to put him in the deal, that's ideal. But if they're insisting on Callum to get Haaland, I think you have to do it. Like, I mean, I just don't think there's any question.
Say if we go back into Lukaku, yeah.
Other options, yeah.
But then Haaland leaves us, and now we let a world class show go.
Thank you, Savi.
What about Dusan Vlahovic? What about Dusan Vlahovic, though? Dusan Vlahovic, Fiorentina.
You pulled this guy's name yesterday, right? So
he's staying in Serie A. He's already said so.
He will come, not this summer. Definitely not this summer.
I'm just looking at him as an optional. That's all. I'm just looking at him as an optional. Lewis.
Well, here's some other options if Haaland is not a deal. First of all, it's going to be Mo Salah if he does not sign an extension this summer. They will look to move him out to bring Sancho in.
Don't get bent over by
Sancho's going to United. That's done.
That's not done.
Whoa. Sancho. Sorry. I thought you said Salah. I was going to Salah.
No, I said Salah. I said Salah.
Sancho will go to
Salah to Manchester United. Are you mad?
Yeah.
Man United, Chester, they can't do deals between each other. It's not allowed. They can't sell to each other.
No, I said Salah.
Chelsea. Someone said Salah to United afterwards.
I thought you said Jester said it. My bad.
No, not Jester. Someone else said that.
Sancho is going to United.
Yeah.
No,
he can't. No, whoever said that again, he can't go to United. If you look at their history, they can't sign players from each other. It's not allowed. I think
he said Sancho.
He said Sancho.
I'm hearing things wrong then. Salah, Sancho. It sounds the same.
They already have everything done.
I'm curious.
All they do is agree on the fee, and that's done.
Wait, I'm curious now, though. Why can't they?
Sorry, Lewis.
I'll be leaving that forward anyway.
There's a chat called Low Federation about
why can't they do deals?
One sec. AB says, by the way, guys, please watch the Chelsea Extras video from the Champions League final. Some of the camera work on Kai really shows how sublime his touch is. Cheers, mate. Bro, watching it from the ground, man. This guy dropped his best performance of the season on the greatest stage, man. I want him in that centre forward role as many times as possible because the more he gets.
Remember when he made that run?
Yo,
Pulisic.
That should have been 2-0. That really should have been 2-0.
But like,
I don't actually blame. I don't. If you look at it again,
nobody's
I don't actually blame.
No one blames.
We're just talking about the run.
Nah, some people were like that's what I mean. Like, but Ederson actually did everything right as a goalkeeper. He made himself look really big. It had to be like a really good goal to go in, like a really good shot, and it was so close to going in, but it just didn't.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I celebrated it like it was a goal.
21 years old, scored 21 goals for Fiorentina, mid-table club in Serie A, 6'2", 30 to 50 million. Might be worth looking at. I need to do some more research on him. I'm not going to flip-flop and just say, let's all go for Vlahovic.
I think Tuchel knows.
That's a good shout, my guy.
Tuchel knows who he wants, man.
He knows who he wants. Hakimi stuff.
We are looking at an 18-year or 19-year-old center forward out of Brazil as well.
What's
he make?
Another Jesus.
Adama Traore stuff that links with Callum.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
When we get a striker, we need someone of a build like a Haaland, like a Lukaku, a tall, physical, like a Diego Costa, that type of striker.
One thing,
would you take Costa back for a season?
Yeah, yes.
Say if we go in for Lukaku, and that all goes through, and Romano said somewhere that we're interested in Hakimi. What are we gonna pay?
Why?
80 million as well.
Why would you?
And then
The rumor has it when Kante lost his virginity, you won it back. I haven't heard that one in years, but thanks to the super chat, man. It's been a minute still.
Yo, someone
Martin
said
saying Andre Silva and Gerard Moreno cheap alternatives. Reddy said I'm not interested in
my
Silva, but
God.
Gerard Moreno is
terrible.
an interesting shout. He's had a very good season at Villarreal.
Who's that
But
guy?
again, needs more research.
No.
Is that the guy that beat
Xavi, you're not
United? though?
feeling Moreno, talk to me.
No. He's not. He had a good season, yeah, but for what we want, he's not gonna give us what we want. You know what I mean? He's kind of limited up top. And not Moreno.
And let's be honest, the Serie A strikers, the guys in Serie A, they just don't leave Italy. It just never happens. Who were we linked to a couple years ago? Bellotti never left.
I'd rather go for Daka.
Every Italian player I've heard or manager come to Chelsea tells me they're hella homesick and
Daka,
miss
bro.
the food.
Yeah.
And the food here
Well, I
is
mean,
shit.
Yeah, the food
Yeah,
is shit.
Italians
I'm not
don't
gonna lie.
leave.
All you got is
Italians don't leave,
Nando's.
man. Trust me.
Yeah,
They don't
really
leave.
is. I ain't
It's
even
an
gonna defend it.
Yeah, it's a tough country to leave. It's like pretty perfect most of the year there. But yeah, like guys like Bellotti, Piatek that we were always linked with, those dudes they don't leave Italy.
What would you say would be a realistic summer for Chelsea?
Ings.
I don't
Who?
want Danny Ings.
Oh, hell no.
It's a joke.
Now, I want Patson Daka, bro. Easy. Salzburg. Striker.
Yeah, I've heard he's had a good season. How many? What's
Yeah,
his
he's
number?
got 34 goals in 41 games. All
For
competition.
who?
And Salzburg. Same team that, what's his name, came from, Haaland.
Haaland. Okay.
Ooh, Salzburg be producing some ballers.
Yeah, that's the
man.
thing, though. That's still going to be hella raw, though. I think he's going to have to adapt as well if he came to us.
It's
That'd
raw.
be another
If
one
you watch
season
him,
gap.
you'll see what I'm seeing in it.
If Real Madrid go and get an Mbappe or a Haaland, I say for a short-term fix, we go for Benzema. That would be a great shout from us.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
a great shout.
But I really can't see where Madrid letting us have him though.
If they have to go and get a striker first. If they don't, then they're going to be hooked onto Benzema, and we ain't even going to stand a chance.
How about Luka
Another
Jovic?
thing, isn't Mbappe meant to be on a 1-year contract?
Yeah, and there's some rumors, very silent, or actually light rumors that he's might be interested in coming back to London.
Who's that?
See that happening. I can't lie.
Mbappe.
What?
Oh my god.
It's Madrid, man. If he leaves PSG, it's Madrid.
You talk about generational. He's generational.
He
Man
won't.
has 49 goals.
We'd have to
22.
pay like.
I'm going to rotate the
over
panel.
200
Plata, jump on in about 10, my G.
We'd have to pay over.
Hey, I
200
gotta
million
hop off in here,
for
Lewis.
him.
I'll let someone hop in.
All right, bless, bro. Go a few guys.
All right, boys. I'll
I'm
talk to you
actually gonna
later.
hop up in like
Right,
10
Josh.
minutes. Don't worry.
Yeah, no worries,
Big up,
guys.
Josh.
Bless,
You
bless.
got to pay over 200 mil for Mbappe, man. That's crazy.
Babala, all you, man. Myron, jump on.
He only has 1 year left on his contract, so if you think it's going to be a huge amount of money you could set that they could get for him, you're wrong. You buy
And
the
what did you
contract,
say?
not the player.
Would you say?
So how much
your
you think he's
contract
worth?
like 100 million or a bit less?
Well, if you're going to pay 150 million for Haaland, you have to go somewhere between 100 and 150 for Mbappe for 1 year on a 1 year.
Mbappe will be worth 200 million.
Not for
Yeah.
1 year left on his contract.
I think 150 to 200 is actually. It's just because it's Mbappe. Mbappe's proven. He's such a good talent to have, and 150 to 200 is gotta be the asking price for him, even if he's 1 year
How
left.
much?
Look at Jester. Look at Eden Hazard. 1 year left. How much did he cost Real Madrid?
Plus as well.
That's because they're idiots.
No, I know, but like, come on, like the age difference. Like Mbappe's like 21, isn't he, or something? Like it's insane. So it would actually cost that much, in my opinion, for that, like something like him.
Oh, I don't
And
think
I would
Mbappe
actually do it.
over,
Yeah,
Haaland all day
I would-
long, man. All day
I would
long.
swap. I would swap Cho for him as well. Like not swap, but like put Cho in a deal. Happily.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that.
If
Don't
Well, you
really-
Yeah,
can't
sure.
do that because he's generational talent.
Romano said
Now I'm
that,
taking the piss.
Declan Rice is back on our radar. So say we
Unreal,
get
bro. We're
Declan
just
Rice.
throwing Cho in every deal like no man's business out here.
Say we get Declan
So you
Rice.
wouldn't throw Cho in for Mbappe?
No,
Are you
I'm not saying
wrong
I'm not
with
saying
everything?
that I wouldn't. I'm saying that they wouldn't accept that because
Yeah.
why would they accept that?
If we
Well, it wouldn't be a swap.
No, but even like, what do they get out of that? Like, genuinely, what do they get out of that?
World-class winger, according to people.
But it wouldn't be. And they've already got Di Maria. They've already got Neymar. They've already got Sarabia plays annoying quite a lot, and he's having a decent season for them. Like, why would they want him? They just go, no, we just want 200 million. They just turn around and go, no, just pay us money. And the thing is, Mbappe wouldn't even, like, he's even said that he wants to sign a new contract. The only thing that's stopping him is he wants to see the project they're building.
Ronaldo
so he's almost nailed on to sign a new contract.
I said Mbappe's mum hates Chelsea because of what happened before. When we rejected him when he was 13. She can't still be salty about that.
Wait, how does
we just won the trophy, ain't won. So come to us.
Where do you think Ronaldo's going?
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
He ain't going anywhere. He's staying at Juventus, isn't he?
No, he'll leave, but I don't
He's
know where.
washed.
He's leaving this summer.
And also, why are we fucking up our wage structure for him?
Washed anyway.
No. He wouldn't come to us anyway.
Anyway.
If he's coming Premiership, he's going back to United, man.
Yeah, it's
United,
PSG or Real Madrid.
United fans don't even want him back.
Because he messed up the wage.
I know quite a few United fans who'd have him in a heartbeat and just stick him up front, but
I know, but he just messed up the wage again.
They're sentimental.
They're
It's like
actually sorting it out.
yeah, it's sentimental, man. He's, you know what I mean. He's a goat. He's the goat, isn't it?
He comes back and he wins the Golden Boot.
But Johnny, did you say he's a
career at
penalty
United.
merchant? He's a pen merchant.
Look. He's it's banter, in it. It's banter, man. But I was saying, as a striker, Ronaldo is the goat. As a striker.
And that's for Mason Greenwood as well.
That was the debate. And then William, what's his name? Guillem Balag come out and said that Ronaldo at Real Madrid was played as a striker. That was his position. He was centre forward. I don't really agree with that, to be honest.
What do you think of the Dan Fiore links?
Benzema was.
Artem says only brought up Silva and Moreno because they were some of the top scorers this year. We can't get Haaland or Lukaku. There are not many other options. This is a jarring thing, but I think it's the same problem for a lot of clubs out there, that they're trying to find strikers, but there aren't really that many proper options out there. That's why I don't want us getting any other scrub if it's just not Haaland or Lukaku or Kane. We might as well just focus on Kai Havertz and go and get a goal-scoring winger instead, because that's going to be the next best thing for us.
Who's a goal-scoring winger?
Salah.
Yeah, I would take a Salah.
I'd go for Pedro Neto, Jadon Sancho.
I wouldn't really say Sancho's a goal scorer.
Kylian Mbappe. They'd all be great options for us.
Chesters, are you 100% sure that Salah is not settled at Liverpool?
I don't want him anyway.
He is set. He has to sign an extension. He's got 2 years left on his deal. They're supposed to go in for contract extension talks later this summer. If he doesn't sign, then they'll be looking to move him so they can have the money to bring in Sancho as a replacement, because he'd be a long-term solution. They're also looking at Rafinha as well in that position.
Rafinha.
Yeah, 32 million. That's like, look at it with Jota.
At 30 million, Rafinha as a backup? Come on, at 30 million, that's an easy deal to do.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing up Salah is because Christian Falk did. He was doing an interview with Mark Goldbridge on the United Stand. They were talking about Sancho, and he said, well, hold on. If Salah goes this summer, Liverpool will be in for Sancho. And Sancho would prefer to go to Liverpool over United.
Interesting. That's fair.
Rafinha as well. That's a decent shout for cheaper options.
Yeah, and that would be
saying. Man said Mane coming off this season. You must be mad. Declare, here's the deal I can live with. We buy Haaland, but loan him back to Dortmund for a season.
What? Sorry, that's the stupidest deal I've ever heard.
No, we need an immediate striker. Why would we buy him?
You're going to spend 120 million to loan a player back. Are you high?
It's the Chelsea thing,
they
bro.
Don't lose 2 stars in the season and avoid buyout clause. Nah, bro. That's good for them. That's not good for us.
That's why I proposed the Tammy and Cho to throw in, because they would have a young striker and a young winger to replace the two that we lose. It just makes business sense. So you can say what you want, but that makes business sense for Dortmund. And you have to, in a selling buying environment, both sides have to get something in the deal, or the deal can't be done. So it's not like it. I don't think that they would take two of our players, but at least you got to throw your best offer out there if you really want Haaland. You can't go, oh, we'll give you £80 million for him, and think that that's even. They'd tell you to go away. Dortmund doesn't work that way. Dortmund says we want this for him, and they've said 150 million. You can have Haaland this summer.
I wish
they have no reason.
They want cash. They don't want players. They'll only take cash, Dortmund. So all this talk of
Dortmund is
part of the deal won't happen.
They're still in Bayern, so they need to pay that shit.
This is on Declan Rice and Chouameni.
Sure, Chris.
They want.
See you, Chris. If Dortmund got the option, right, to accept 150 million euros is what, 138 million, 120 million pound roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
If we paid 120 million, do you think they're going to wait to say, oh yeah, Bayern Munich, we're going to wait one more season and we'll take 70 million?
Yes, Myron.
No chance.
Nesri's getting called out, but I feel like he's too similar to Tammy for me.
I bet people are just shouting out names. I bet people are just shouting out names because they've seen they've got like decent goal scoring records. I guarantee they haven't watched them. What about Lewandowski? Yeah, with the Dortmund thing, Dortmund don't need to sell Haaland. They have absolutely no.
No, they're in a great position right now. Very strong position.
Wait, Johnny, are they in this Champions League spot, Dortmund?
Yes.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah. They got Champions League.
They got in second to last game of the season, I think, or last game of the season. They got in.
The second last game they got it because Frankfurt fell off. So, but again,
let's get Luis Suarez. Let's go.
Unreal.
He's had a great season for Atletico. Fuck it.
No, I don't want that. That guy, he might bite somebody.
Watch out. He might cause problems at Rudiger.
And Rudiger could be gone this summer too. So don't think that he's staying too.
If Dortmund,
potentially,
if Haaland's looking at it, who's going to win who's more likely to win the Champions League? Dortmund or Chelsea? It'd be Chelsea again.
Yeah, but he can just wait a year and go to Real Madrid.
Actually, have you seen the
No, apparently it's Bayern.
Why would he want to go to Real Madrid?
Because it's a club he wants to go to. In a year's time, they'll have more money because of like the pandemic's over. They'll slowly get more money. Yes, they're still in a lot of debt anyway, but they've been in debt for years.
But they might not even have Champions
League.
Oh, they'll definitely have. I don't know. Depending on what happens,
they might be barred from Champions League.
Depending on what happens with that, but even so, like Real Madrid's one of those clubs where you just can't turn down. Like it's the same with Munich. It's the same with Barcelona. Like
they've got the biggest history. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's got the history.
Yeah, it's history, but you look at the current times, man, and like you look at how the finances are in Spain. You look at how the finance. I know Germany is a little bit different, but like these clubs are not what they used to be. And Haaland doesn't strike me as the guy who wants to be there just for their history. He wants to win now. Who looks like they're going to win now? I think you look at the Premier League.
Myron, and you got to think about it. That
the thing that I'd argue that with, sorry to interrupt you, Xavi, is you look at Man United and some of the players they sign. Like, why do any of them want to join United? They're playing under a shit manager. They're not going anywhere. They're never going to win the Premier League. Why do they go there? What's the point?
I think they've diminished. I think their attraction has diminished.
Yeah, but then they're still signing good players. So why are people still going there?
Are they though?
Because of the size of the club.
Because the players they're going for.
If you think about the United era, and the Galacticos era, those players like Hazard, who grew up like watching Zidane and Ronaldo on TV, is like, okay, my dream is to play for them. But this group of era, like Haaland and them like that saw us winning and different. I don't know who was else the winning squad at that time. It's gonna be like my dream is to play for them. You know what I mean? I think it's the different eras that they grow up with. I don't think Real Madrid has necessarily. They kind of do still have that, but it's not like it used to be. You know what I mean? With attracting players.
You're saying that after we win the Champions League 2012, they won it 3 times in a row, if I'm right, or 2 times in a row.
Yeah, they did.
So you can't say that because
No, but that's
winning.
gonna be these group of young kids that are watching that on TV, like 2012, that are growing up and seeing that. They're gonna have that dream to play for Real Madrid. You know, those kids born and watching that and growing up in that era.
Plus, as well,
Big up
with Haaland, if he waits, go on, read that now.
Sorry, man. Big up Declared again, saying I'd rather go with Havertz for a season to secure Haaland than us getting our B, C, and D choice striker. Because of loan deal, he will less more than buy out. I'm not sure what you meant by the end of it, but I still agreed I'd rather go with Havertz if we don't get our top 3 options. He's shown enough from the last few weeks for me to give him a priority for the season.
So who's the backup?
A goal-scoring winger. I'd say if we don't get a striker, we go get a winger.
As a striker, who's our striker or a center forward? Who's the backup we bring in?
See, this is where we can look a bit weaker, and you can go for a Danny Ings or something if they are your backup option. I don't want a Danny Ings or an Aguero or any of these other bit pot strikers that we're talking about, other than as a Plan B striker. I don't want them as starting striker. If we're going to get any of those, Havertz has to start for us, and they have to show why they would be starting regularly. But in terms of our main number 1 striker, it's either the 3 strikers we've already mentioned, or it's Kai Havertz for me. Otherwise, I don't see anyone else.
Lewis, not that off Johnny
Sprinkler. We still saying Lewandowski.
Lewandowski's not.
Yeah, you would bring him in if he was available.
You would bring Johnny. You said a couple of weeks ago you want Danny Ings, Johnny.
No one's saying Ings is number 1. Nobody's saying Ings is number 1. Hell no.
Johnny said it.
I'm saying it.
I said it's a filler. That's what I said. It's a filler.
Myron, is that
Ings is number 1. That's me. That's my shout. Yeah.
Go on, talk to me. Sell this.
Lewis.
All right. Well, okay. Listen to this, man.
Game.
Okay. So basically, if we don't have a real number 1 option, we're losing Tammy, we're losing Giroud, we are going to need a body to occupy that spot. Either we do Broja, we use somebody from the academy, or we're going to have to bring in some sort of journeyman player. And if we're going to bring in a journeyman player, Danny Ings is 100% the top of that list for me. He's Premier League proven. Yeah, he's got a few injury problems, but we don't need him to start every game. That's why we have Havertz. So, if we can't get those other options, Ings is the top for me.
With Ings as well, and this is a thing that I don't think people take into account when they've mentioned other names. Ings can play in a 1-striker formation. I've seen people mention Jovic can't play in a 1-striker formation. So who else? I've seen someone else. I know we've talked about Ike Nacho in the past. Can't play in a 1-striker formation. Ings can. It's shown he can.
Yeah, but
Lewis,
we're going to play a double striker formation if we play Havertz. He won't play us.
Don't know that. We could play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, but
it just gives us the option.
Yeah, it does give us the option.
He's a great shot.
But he can play in both. That's what I'm saying. Rather than
mate, bags your goals, and he's he'll be happy. Not happy, but he'll sit on the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he won't cause problems.
Both. What I mean by that, Jess, is you can get someone who can play in both because he can play in both. That works well. If you get someone who could only play in a 2-striker formation and can't work as a solo striker, that limits you going forward so much.
Lewis, are you going to the Super Cup game in August?
What was that?
Are you going to the Super Cup game in August?
Oh, you're damn right. It's in Belfast. That's light work.
Yeah, it is.
Easy. Of course I'll be there.
So he's got 1 year left on his contract. Danny Ings does, and he's rated at £20 million.
Yeah.
So 15. So 15.
Yeah.
If I be honest, I'd rather get Ivan Toney.
He's not.
I'd rather Ivan Toney by a mile.
He ain't leaving.
Isn't it the Brentford guy?
I think he'd be a decent striker for Chelsea.
Yeah, I still just don't see it happening.
He's unproven, and he'd be more than Ings.
He would be more than Ings is the only problem. Right?
How much money do you spend this summer?
About £200 million.
I mean,
if we make our sales.
Yeah, but if we get a striker and then they want Declan Rice, surely you don't go for Declan Rice, you go for Chouameni.
Well, here's the thing. What I would do is get Weigl and Chouameni for the same price you would get Rice.
Yeah, but I know I wouldn't even get Weigl. I just Chouameni.
Haven't you got two blow to the midfield then?
Yeah, I'd get Chouameni and I'd leave Weigl.
I mean, I get the point Jester's making. Like, yeah, those are both more like cost effective.
No,
but
no,
we are not doing Martial, my G. Man said, what about Martial not getting game?
We want to wear
This guy,
Come on,
this guy,
bro.
as soon as he has any competition for his spot in the Man United side, he flutters, he disappears, useless.
I told you.
So with competition as strong as it is as Chelsea, he ain't lasting, my G.
He's got 2 kids. He's throwing blanks, bro.
Oh, savage.
That's confirmed that we were in for him.
I'm not seeing that.
So yeah, I mean, you think that it won't happen, but Weigl is a very, very, very good backup plan to Rice
like him.
because Weigl played for Tuchel at Dortmund.
The thing for me is I get one of Tuchel or Weigl. I wouldn't get both because otherwise you're just having a bloated midfield and then someone's got to drop out.
But if you're playing 3 midfielders, you need that rotation.
Yeah, but if you think if in that midfield, say we play a 3 midfield next season, in that midfield you've got Kante, Mount, Kovacic, Jorginho, Tuchel, Weigl, possibly if he stays Gilmore, all vying for 3 spots.
Yeah, but he would go on players. You wouldn't keep him around.
He would have 6 players vying for 3 spots, and if you think about it, Mount's going to play the majority of the games next season. That's 5 players vying for 2 spots. Then if you go Kante's playing the majority of games, that's 4 players for 1 spot. That doesn't work.
Yeah, but we're also thinking that all of our midfielders are going to stay this summer.
I think there's going to be surprises of who of players that leave. You know,
I think Jorginho's leaving.
I think Rudiger's going to be one of them.
Yep, he possibly could
do that. I don't get.
Why would we do that? Yeah.
It's not that he won't sign if he doesn't sign an extension. He's got 2 years left.
We haven't given him a deal, have we?
He won't talk to it about it until after the Euros.
That's fair enough, though.
So
he wants to increase his value.
Well, no, not that. He doesn't like all the managerial changes. Because what if Tuchel goes out, the guy who's playing him now, and the next guy who comes in doesn't rate him,
and we get another Champions League?
Where's he going to go? That's not the case.
Well,
Spurs.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of Spurs connections there. Because if Conte does go to Spurs,
but
Rudiger was a Conte man.
Lost. So again, if he's complaining about managerial changes or the constant managerial changes, there is almost nowhere in the world you can go where that's not going to be the case because football's moved on.
Those are his words. Those are his words, not mine.
It sounds like posturing for negotiations on a big fat contract. That's what it sounds like.
And it could be. Traore links coming out about last week.
Unless we're playing a 5 at the back, it makes no sense next season.
And so the groups of players we have and we're linked to, we have groups of players that would fit a back 5 and groups of players that would fit a back 4. So depending on which key player we get out of those groups is going to be dependent on what formation we're going to play next year. If we sign Rice, we're going to a back 4 because you would need to play 3 in the midfield to get all your midfielders in. If we bring in a holding DM, we will go back to a back 4.
I think we'll use both.
4-1-4-1 at the PSG, didn't he, with it? Holding midfielder.
It was a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Sorry, not 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2-2, sorry.
Weigl looks like a more athletic Jorginho. I was just kind of watching some of his games.
Rudiger ain't going nowhere. He isn't going nowhere if he signs a contract. If he doesn't sign the contract, it's going to become very sticky because right now Rudiger is in the perfect position to get maximum profit from his transfer if you sell him now. And I think he's got 2 years left of his contract. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea bit the bullet now if he didn't re-sign. So we're not saying it's guaranteed he's leaving. Just if it happens, don't be too surprised.
Chelsea,
how much would you take for him?
If I'm Rudiger though in this situation, where are you going to go that's going to be better than where you're at now? Realistically speaking, Bayern aren't going to get you because they've already got Upamecano, Hernandez, Sula, unless he leaves.
Man, you need someone.
Like Chris Richards is coming through.
Let's a step down.
You said Man
won't be after him, man.
If he leaves, he leaves England. I don't think he stays in England.
Real Madrid don't need him. They can go and sign replacements from.
Well, you've got Mourinho at Roma.
and that's
all
a step
profitable.
down.
It's all
Like, to go
profitable
back
then.
to Roma.
He won't go
He won't go back
And a
the
pay
way
cut.
he didn't like the
Yeah.
fans because the way you abused him.
Have any of you
He,
seen what
Damn.
Absolute Chelsea just tweeted? Just there.
No. Is it the right? Is it the right account?
No, the
What's up,
negotiations are well on.
I just want to make sure in it. Last time we got checked.
Oh, Fata frauded us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Joke, man.
So it looks like
look at
Arsenal
it
is
there.
out of the Basuma race.
who the heck?
Mm.
Look
Priced out.
Absolute Chelsea just tweeted.
I have just seen the tweet, and I don't know who the hell they're on about.
Yeah, I don't know who
Fuck
that
is
person
he?
is.
How much would you guys take for Rudiger?
40.
Negotiations are well underway between Chelsea and Dynamo Kiev for Ilya Zabani.
Yeah, he's 19, I think.
What is his position?
Centre back.
Centre back.
Oh,
He
right.
looks decent.
Oh, what are we getting another centre back for?
An
Because
18-year-old
18's
centre back as
going.
well.
Because
Actually,
Rudiger might be going, Lewis.
18.
Maybe
18's
ain't gonna
going, man.
start.
Collect.
18's going.
Who cares?
Why are we getting an 18-year-old centre back? Another one, man.
Yeah, Xavier
Yeah,
Muamia.
he was snapped.
Xavier Muamia.
Sell him in 4 years for
It might
profit.
be Tuchel's choice.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I gotta get ready for work. It's been real. It's been fun, and it's actually been real fun. So
Again,
Get out of here, Jester. Good stuff, man.
Big up,
Till
Jesse.
next time. Till next time, bro.
yeah. So
Take it
Chad
easy.
can be happy now because I'm leaving. So if you're happy I'm leaving, make sure you smash that like button.
Nah, give
Smash that
me
like
some
button.
love, man. I'm sick of all of this negative bullshit and USA slander. Give him some love. Big up yourself for jumping on, Jesters. Thank you.
Big ups, Jester.
There we go. All right, cool. We also got some positive.
The moment an American talks.
We must get
They don't know goal, man.
Nope.
He's a pace merchant.
Bro, are you kidding me? Like, have you
Pace
guys
merchant.
seen Varane?
He hasn't even been their best he's been of the
Oh
so take
my
Ramos out.
God.
Take Ramos out and you look at Militao and Varane's been the worst of the two. Militao's been better than him this season.
You know what's gonna have to happen?
He's been
Varane is gonna have to come and
Take Ramos out and you look at Militao and Varane's been the worst of the two. Militao's been
Someone's got a major echo.
mad echo.
That went very
Yeah,
quiet
that might have
quickly. But I'm saying I still would take Varane because of the quality that he possesses as a defender, even if he hasn't got
And experience, Lewis.
That's going to be like, what, 60, 70 mil? No, I'm good. I'm good.
No,
because he's not re-signing his contract. They'll sell him on the cheap.
And it's Real Madrid.
They priced him
I
as
get
40.
Real Madrid, but they
That's
need
what
to
I've seen.
sell in order
Yeah.
to get other
You know
players.
what, Lewis?
They're
That
trying
could,
to
that
get
could be a
more
domino
money.
effect for them getting Haaland.
It's
And I don't
Real
wanna do
Madrid.
that.
They don't need to sell.
Yeah, let's not give them funds.
Let's
They
not give
do
them
though.
funds.
That's why they're trying to sell Hazard so cheap. They need to sell
40
to raise
Chester,
those
Johnny.
funds.
You're not taking Hazard.
I'd take
How do you
Hazard,
see
but
what,
that's
Sergio Ramos said?
No, we don't want Hazard.
No, we want Hazard, man. He's a baller,
I
man.
would
We love Hazard, but we don't want him.
bro.
We love Hazard, but we don't want him back here, man.
Unfortunately.
Bring him back to the bridge, man.
no one's
that's
disrespecting
sentiment,
Rudiger.
John.
That is on a
That's
2-year
sentiment.
contract and hasn't signed yet. It would make sense for Chelsea to sell now if they wanted to. It's not disrespectful.
No, it
It's just the
makes
facts
sense
on the
after the
table.
Euro. It makes
At
sense
the end
after
of the day, if he
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
want to
after
sign
the
the
Euro.
contract, he doesn't want to sign the contract, isn't it? That's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
up to him.
I think
right.
these Euros are gonna be very important for transfers. Like,
Yeah.
Look,
and
look,
injuries.
guys, I'm saying if we do have to get rid of him, we'll get rid of AC, we get rid of Werner, we'll be fine.
Oh, man.
Thank you for jumping on, Wayne, my G.
Wayne
We'll see you another time, you dickhead. That's say Stella, are you mad?
He came in swinging, bro.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, man
what a
just wanted to
reach!
come in and
What a
fun me and
reach,
Taff at
man.
the same time.
Couldn't help it, could he?
Wayne's got the minerals
Couldn't.
today, man.
Couldn't.
that was a little Wayne sprinkler.
Wayne Sprinkler, man. The Wayne Sprinkler. Take it
But if
how
we
you
go to
want
back
it.
four,
I hope
Rudiger's
he signs a contract. I really do. He's had such a great season for us.
I
It's
think
just
he will.
does he?
I think he will, just because it's as we said. Like, I think it's just him wanting to wait until after
Yes,
the Euros,
Big up
focus
yourself.
on the Euros,
Yeah.
get through that, and then he'll sign it. Because as I said, he's got
Oh, but
there is nowhere else he can go where it's going to be a step up, and he's going to be he's going to be playing regularly, and he's going to be a step up. Like, he could go to Barca, but he won't be playing regularly. So what's
Who
the
you talking
fucking
about?
point?
would that be even a step up though?
Oh,
It would be in terms of size of club and like aspirations, but you're not going to be playing every week. So what's the point? Like, you're just going to be on the bench every week.
All right.
Well, the question. Go ahead.
That's right.
Basically, all I was going to ask is like, if we do go to a back four, I see Rudiger as being one of like the two best center backs for that system.
Yeah. I see him and Silva being the starting two.
Yeah, exactly. So like, he's a huge loss, and if we're going to move him on, it's got to be for me 50 plus, because we're going to have to bring in a direct replacement. And Varane, in my opinion, is not on the level of Rudiger right now, especially.
Oh, keywords right now.
Keyword right now, yeah, 100%. But on form, I mean, the man just won the Champions League final.
I've said this before. I want Kimpembe. If we're buying a French centre back,
now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Well, Xavi's minerals are juicing up, man.
He could be had for a good price too.
PSG ever gonna sell Kimpembe?
They might. Marquinhos, they won't. But Kimpembe, they might. If you put in a decent enough offer.
What are we calling a decent offer for that?
Bro.
Well, if we're selling Rudiger for 50 mil or plus or whatever, then you can easily just put what we get for Rudiger back into Kimpembe.
Yeah.
Bro, and he's left-footed, no?
I think he's left-footed. I think.
He normally plays on the left back, left of the centre backs.
Let me look this up, because you put that thought in my head, bro.
And he's used to playing with Silva and under Tuchel.
Yeah. Making a lot of sense.
And I heard
hopefully he just
put
signs.
in the dressing room, pause, like but like he's like those players that are good to be around the team, like a Giroud, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And we have a good history of bringing good characters too. I don't want to like see that mess up.
Do we?
We do, I think, man. You look at like the players we've avoided, more importantly, like that we were linked with 25. And we never went through. Yeah. Like Aurier who went to Tottenham. I remember we were linked. Like, what a bad egg. We don't want that.
Tevez was a terrible egg.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're the kings of Europe now. Everyone should want to come to us.
We can have who we want.
What's wrong with Martial? I'm pretty sure he's better than Ings.
I know you didn't say that was a straight face.
He's a wind-up, isn't he?
Can't be control, but
that was a wind-up name.
You should get Bamford.
Where do we begin, Ralph?
Bamford? No.
Oh my God, bro. No.
How are you going for a guy with
Bamford any day of the week?
These are howlers, man.
My guy has missed more chances than Timo Werner, and you want to bring him to the club. Come on, man.
English Timo Werner.
One step forward and 5
I got a name for you guys.
Been my
boy for a few years.
Picking up your guy. Go for it, Declared.
Luka Jovic.
No.
No.
Can't play in a one-striker.
He needs a 2, doesn't he? Yeah.
He can't play in a one-striker formation.
Why not?
Yeah, but see, this is my thing, right? You guys will notice it. We are so desperate for a striker because of Werner's misses, right? Because of his blunders, right? Yeah. But Lukaku is not replacing Werner. Lukaku will be playing with Werner.
Yeah,
but that's if we play a two-striker formation, which we could. But
we kind of technically, we technically do. Mount has a free-flowing role, and it's more Werner and whoever Havertz in last game cases, right? So technically, that's what it is. So even if we get Lukaku, we still have Werner and his problem if it continues, if it doesn't improve. Mm-hmm. So I'm always thinking, why aren't we getting a player like Werner, like Richarlison from Everton, would be kind of ideal. One for one. Yeah. So Lukaku's So the problem still will be there. And if Werner was scoring a third of his chances, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
But the rest of the team is better.
Wilfred Zaha has been.
No, you just coming out with names now.
No. I'm
sorry, I didn't even.
People just saying names just because they like the name. I'm seeing Immobile mentioned. I'm seeing Silva mentioned. Like, please do your research, guys. Immobile flopped every team he was at until he went to Lazio, and the guy's 31. Andre Silva has been in the three of the biggest leagues in Europe and has flopped in 2 of them. He's had 1 good season, and you want to sign him because of 1 good season? No, thank you. No, thank you.
Damn right.
Is Mikel Antonio
what if we went for a young striker?
Name then, innit? Come on, you're dismissing names here. You need to throw some names.
I said Lukaku is still. I said this actually. I've mentioned this before. the title of this video, Lukaku is not off. Just because he said he doesn't want to go means nothing. It means literally fuck all. Like I said this in the thing a long time in the chat earlier. Ancelotti said the day before he went to Real Madrid, he had no intention of going to Real Madrid, and he wanted to stay with Everton and progress and see where they could progress, and then went back to Real Madrid. Lewis mentioned earlier, Fabian Delph said he didn't want to leave Aston Villa, and then left Aston Villa. Like I'm sure Sterling said the same thing about Liverpool. Players say it all the time.
This is true.
Wait, why would Rudiger be unsettled in this team? Because you said he did he. I did not know that the contract isn't like that long though, Rudiger.
What about Ollie Watkins, guys?
No.
If we're going backup striker, like we said, where it's another option off the bench, then I'd take it. And again, depending on price.
But he's going to be so much more expensive than Ings.
Yeah.
I have a name. Right. I've got a name for you guys. Ready? Dominic Solanke.
Oh, full circle.
Merchant.
No.
What?
Sorry,
I had to take a second. Solanke, you must be mad.
No.
I have a name. I have a name. Ben Yedder.
Chris Wood is better than Lacazette.
No, this ain't FIFA, bro. What is this?
Ben Yedder again. Ben Yedder's like 31, I think.
I like Chris Wood. Gives me a Wood.
Did he? I thought it was 20-ish though.
We're getting Chris Wood. We might as well go
Chris Wood.
Wissam Ben Yedder is 30.
Great name to scream out, Chris Wood.
Actually, Barnes to Chelsea. Screw this.
Hey, what about Dominic Calvin-Lewin, man? I'm a big fan. He did that Drogba celebration too. Got me on my side.
No way.
That's
Let's just go.
Been waiting to happen, bro. Hell no.
Roman, just take his yacht over to Italy or Germany.
Everyone was saying is just nope.
Haaland, bro.
Nope.
Has
really is Haaland, Kane, or Lukaku. And Haaland, we still ain't going to be that great in the first season.
Wait,
with him.
what about Ollie Watkins?
With Haaland, it's the future.
Hey, you know when I sent that super chat, I think that's what I was getting at. Like, these are all B, C, D choices. Would fans be happy if we held out for a number one?
Yeah,
you do a season without.
The problem is,
but we have done a season without, and we've seen what our struggle is. Jorginho's our top goal scorer with penalties.
And it's not going to be easier next season.
Finish, bro. Whoever can finish gets it, bro. Like, if you can show me you finish for a consistent period of time, like, come on.
And I think that's the thing.
We're going to end up going another year relying on Timo Werner. And this is going to be the big second season for him. I'm not giving him the same patience.
You know what? I think we can do it, bro. I'm backing Timo Werner.
I know where this is going for you guys, but
I will back Timo Werner, but I will not be as patient as I was last season.
Listen, Lewis. Timo's got the minerals, bro. He's gonna turn it on next season. He's gonna bag that goals, man. I predicted Champions League. I predict Turbo Timo's gonna bag 20 goals.
Johnny, can you predict me getting $1 million? Because your prediction's been right.
Yeah. I predicted. I'm calling it that we're gonna do back-to-back CLs. We're gonna do back-to-back Champions League. I got a vibe.
He's so hard.
It's that power stash, bro.
I got Chelsea at 21-1 when Tuchel came in, so I cashed in on that.
You're a dickhead.
Hey, but what if
I never saw your reaction when we won it, man. How were you when we won the CL?
Bro, I'm from Australia. I don't know if you haven't.
I'm talking about stuff.
I was over the moon.
Johnny,
because I know you were the ones that were scared, like, because I heard what you're talking about, man.
I wasn't scared of the final. I actually wasn't even nervous. It was more just like the final was different. Like, if we'd have been playing PSG, I would have been very nervous. But City, I wasn't nervous because it was. You saw how they played; they were open. City, I wasn't actually that nervous. I was less nervous for City than I was for Real Madrid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And when you saw that lineup, you knew.
It's called pep tax, isn't it?
People saying João Felix. João Felix is locked up for life at Atletico Madrid. He ain't leaving.
Yeah, no.
He ain't got a choice.
Silly money for that game, bro.
Pissing research, man. Also, what's João Felix going to cost? 100 mil?
Probably more.
That's what Atletico paid for him.
I swear they paid like 140.
Way more than that.
I think they paid 108 or something like that, and his release clause is mental.
We'll pay 150 mil. Or some bullshit like.
How much did they pay for him?
Hey, what if Werner and Havertz killing it for Germany in the Euros?
That's a good question.
Awesome.
Good question.
Yeah, I hope they bring that form to the Premier League next season.
It's going to be difficult
morale is
for him.
high
I'll be
right
honest. It will be very difficult for him. But
How could that sway him not to get a striker?
I just pray there's no injuries, big injuries.
Let's just get this guy and get 30 penalties.
No, hell no.
God, bro.
Oh my god. Oh shit, my right.
What?
Fucking hate him.
Second most overrated
Why, did
player
you
in
make
the
that
Premier
again?
Was that for flawless, I guess?
Absolutely hate him.
No, I just saw it on Twitter. I didn't even know whose account I got it on.
Oh my days. Who did
He'll
that?
become the biggest flop because
What
we don't
is
get
that? I
penalties.
missed that, man. I missed that. Oh.
What a fucking
You missed it.
Oh my god, come on, yo, please.
Dude, that's a good Photoshop.
No, we're good, man. We got Money Mason Havertz. We're good. We're good. We're eating
Oh,
real
hell
good.
But no, I'm
Eating
not.
real
Bench
good.
the whole season anyway, so it don't even matter. You don't need depth.
I've got
like
an idea how we can get Haaland.
That. Go on.
Well,
All we
listen,
have to do is say, look, here's Mason Mount. Have
Yeah,
him.
I knew it was the Wayne Sprinkler. I knew it, mate.
Oh.
I knew it. Oh,
We
mate.
don't
Wait,
need
you guys
him.
see
What's
these
You're
Mason Mount? Let's
violating.
get
You're
Haaland in.
violating, Wayne, man. You're violating.
we're signing this guy in it. I can defend.
You guys seen these images?
Who's
What?
that?
No. What?
No, who is it?
Oh,
Looks like Mount.
I've
is in
seen
Turkey.
a few of them.
Rudiger
they had the party
on
off-
DJ.
did they? That's
I don't
ridiculous.
know why he does that. He's wearing green. That's why.
he's wearing green.
Yeah, some of the party photos look amazing.
There's the Danish Maldini.
Hey.
Where is it? Oh no, I get the photo. 1 second.
Yeah, I can't really. Oh, look, Johnny. Look who it is.
Yo,
Your boy.
big up the boy, man himself.
Man's got the peace sign there as well, bro. You might as well take that picture.
World peace. World peace. Let's go.
Yeah. That's what I put up all the time on the tweets. Always put the peace sign, man. But it's for the 2 Champions League.
Willian, we already said you can't play as a single striker, so it wouldn't work. Haaland, Lautaro, Dybala, Felix, Vlahovic, Andre Silva, Calvert-Lewin, or Richarlison.
only taking
goal.
3 of
Dybala
those.
don't play up front. He plays more as a cam, don't he?
What's that? Who's that, Chevy, man?
That's Havertz and Tuchel.
That's Havertz
Yeah.
and Tuchel. Felix, we've
So if
already
we're not-
said. Lautaro Martinez might be
No.
a semi-decent one, but I don't think his overall game numbers have been that good this season. Not from what I've read.
Plus,
I
I
haven't got the
haven't-
stats with me right now.
I don't
Let's just assume-
know how he played at, was it Racing Club where he came from before
Oh,
Inter?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know how he
Yeah.
played. Like, I need to see more of him. Like, if Lukaku leaves, it'll be interesting to see how he plays next season with Inter,
He's
and
very
also
good.
with a new manager coming in, if it's the same system or different.
Boy, someone put in the chat a good comment actually about Rudiger, saying he helped to get Havertz and Werner, and then the club put him up for sale. And that's
Yeah, that is
probably
actually messed up.
that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad.
Pretty bad image, isn't it, Johnny?
Yeah, but he was already up for sale anyway. All 3 of our defenders
That's
were
bad
up for
minerals,
sale.
man.
Yeah, that's
Terrible, man.
And we already said, like, it's not me trying to shit on him, but he was our worst defender in 1920.
Yeah, he was.
So I wouldn't be surprised it was him that was up for sale.
Christensen was.
Nah, Rudiger was way worse.
It was a close one.
Way worse. And I'm not even trying to say Christensen was good because he was terrible that season.
I would
Rudiger
bring
was way
on
worse.
this is my crazy, but I would like the Wamangituka, that pace merchant.
Who?
But I like it. Wamangituka.
Wamangituka.
Scott's reaction was priceless.
I'd rather get his teammate. If we're going that level, I'd rather get Kalajdzic. Stop it real.
What team did he play for?
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
They both played for Stuttgart.
Ooh, yeah. Well, if we don't get any of our top number 9s this off season, then what do you say we just go secure Rice, get like whatever backup,
Do you reckon
like wing
Grealish is
back?
going City?
Myron, I would take Declan Rice half the price, not 80 mil.
Yeah, obviously.
Don't get too many.
Like Declan Rice is
rival.
worth 2 players though. You can play centre back, you can play CDM. Saving money actually with Rice.
It does give us coverage.
The problem is
We're
they're gonna have to sell above 80 because West Ham in a Europa League spot, and they're gonna push for that Champions League spot
And
this season.
He has no
Don't
reason.
they want Tammy Abraham?
Depends what you're offering plus Tammy.
Yeah.
And you got the goalkeeper situation because Mendy's going to go for African Cup of Nations.
Shit.
Oh god.
Yeah, we
So
got
that
Kepa,
means,
did
that
you
means we
forget?
got exactly. We got Kepa to fill in for how many weeks? You know what I mean?
He'll do all right.
Are we getting rid of Alonso?
Hopefully.
Slants Chris Wood.
Wouldn't Emerson go before Alonso? That would leave us.
Probably.
Inter
but I
turned
think that's
down
because
Romelu.
Emerson's more desirable.
Wait. I got a great question that we need to talk about. Is Alonso a Chelsea legend?
No. God, no.
No.
Christ, no.
Not
He's
yet.
won everything and played
Don't care.
key parts.
When we put Alonso striker, he'll become a
Thank
legend.
him, but he's not a legend.
Saying bring Chris Wood to Kings Road, not as a starter. You know.
I'm telling you, I'm back. I'm starting to get on the Wood train. I'm getting a
We
Wood
need
for
a
Wood.
what do
get
you
Tompkins
guys
in too.
what criteria do you guys consider a Chelsea legend? Like what do you guys consider a Chelsea legend? What is it
Hello?
like?
In the conversation has to be ability. Like,
Yeah.
and Alonso's footballing ability is shocking.
Yeah.
And
That's
loyalty.
why, yeah. Like,
I'm talking about in general now. I'm not talking about Alonso.
I just for me, like everything that you've like longevity, what they've won, what they've done for the team, ability has to come into it as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just say someone that's been here 10 years and has won everything, but never played or played like a few games could be considered a legend. But it's like they're not legends because they barely played. They're shit. You know.
We'll look back on him fondly, but he's not going to be in the same cut as like Azpilicueta, for example.
That's the thing.
He was there.
We even have to have the debate on Azpilicueta, and he's far better than Alonso. I mean, Alonso should never be in that debate.
And
All
Azpi has
right.
been definitely
Yeah,
best.
good debate. Do you guys consider one more of a legend than another, or are they just all legends?
Who?
Like in terms of our legends?
Right now for me it's Lampard, Drogba, Lampard,
A lot of
JT, right?
Terry, Asby. That's the way I see it. Right.
There's five I'd put above everyone else, and then there's probably next level. There's like Ashley and a few others. Like the five for me and like level above everyone else would be Terry, Lampard, Drogba, Cech, and Cole, and then everyone else slightly below them.
Is it because they laid the foundation?
Basically, yeah, and you just look at what they did for the club in terms of not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well.
They transformed us.
Yeah,
Drogba, especially off the pitch, was huge.
I'm sorry, but I've got to disagree with you guys. There's more. I think there's more than that. I think you're missing Zola, Dennis
No,
Wise.
I'm not saying, but for me, those
Pio's
five.
good.
I've looked
They're
at
the second rung.
of legends, and to be honest,
Yeah.
I did miss Eden Hazard as well in that.
Yeah,
So
like, so for me, like,
I think everyone else under that is kind of on the next level below.
yeah, that's me.
Right.
It's the five at the top, and then the next level down is like Hazard, Zola, Ballack. People I see mentioning like Asp, people like that, SCN. You know, it's those five at the top for me, and then everyone else just the one notch lower. But they're
Forgot
still
about
legends.
Torres
I'm not
as well.
saying they're not legends.
No.
There's like there's one Harris. There's like Peter's good. I mean, there's Peter Bonetti.
I'll be real.
Bobby Tamlin.
Far too young for that. I don't remember anything about that.
Yeah.
That's just from age more than anything.
I've been brought up with history, so I can't help but know all of it. So
Hasselbank
I
to
know,
me.
no problem. You're proper fucking Chelsea. Nothing
I've
wrong
read about
with
those
that.
guys, but it's hard to know. It's hard to relate.
Yeah, Mason Mount is definitely headed for it. If he carries on the trajectory he's at right now, he's definitely going to be a legend.
Right now in our team right now, Kante's a legend. Asby's a legend.
Yeah, and that's it.
I said
right now
I've
there's players
said,
that are
yeah.
very close to it.
I've said,
But
yeah,
that's the only two.
I've quoted it, yeah.
Who else
I've tweeted it anyway. I tweeted that.
Yeah, nobody
If
else
Ben
is close.
keeps this up, he's a Chelsea legend.
Oh, you know, I
Ruben
thought you meant in
keeps
terms
this
of
up.
close at the
Christensen
minute where they're at
keeps
now.
up the legends.
If Havertz
Do you put
stays
Conte-
and wins it all, he's gonna be a legend.
Alonso's just a cult hero because he's a terrible.
Yeah, that's
footballer.
true.
He's had too
That's,
many
yeah,
moments.
I would say that's accurate actually.
That's the right word.
Reece James, Mason Mount, them as well. If they keep this up, they're legends. But they're all potential ones. Kante and Asby are the only ones that are secured legends right now.
I said it, yeah. I tweeted it. If Mason Mount continues, he's already got a CL under his belt. He's on the way. He could overtake Terry being a legend.
What would it take, though,
It would take
to get there?
Wild
it,
take.
it would take another CL, which
Yep,
is
yep.
definitely achievable.
It's doable.
And
Yeah.
and I reckon, yeah, he's got to win maybe four Premier Leagues.
Just to beat Terry's numbers.
He's got
Premier Leagues.
Yeah, 4 Premier Leagues, man.
I
reckon under Tuchel he's going to get one.
If he wins 2 Champions Leagues and 4.
And why he will be the first English player to win Ballon d'Or.
The strong shout, Johnny. Strong shout.
But if you look at Mount's run in the knockout stages,
Ballon d'Or. Wow.
It was pretty impressive his run in the knockout stages.
I can't lie. If Mason Mount doesn't have a good Euros, it can be the UEFA Player of the Season.
If England go win the Euros, as long as they play Grealish with Mount, we're going to be up there, mate.
They won't win the Euros. France will win.
And with Kane as well. With Kane, come on!
But if they do,
minerals.
That would be crazy.
He could overtake Terry, man. I'm telling you.
Did also as well, Johnny? Did you say Mount would be the first English player to win the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah.
He's already failed.
Huh?
Oh, he's already failed.
Why?
Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, Michael Owen. All right. Well, he's going to be the more recent one then.
Scott, look at
I didn't say that. Someone put it in the chat. I just had to have a little
fair play.
Oh, okay.
But saying that then.
What a way to cook on his thing, bro. What's the point?
That means Michael Owen's the only one, right? He's the only one.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he'll be the second. Yeah. Fair play. Correction. Big up the chat.
Yeah, I just noticed. I was like,
yeah, but it's achievable, man.
Yeah, of course.
Why not set high standards? Why not do it?
Do you know what he said? Do you know what he said? Yeah,
it will happen.
He said after his dad went up to him and said to him, "You've won it. You won the Champions League." He said, "Yeah, I know, but it's the Premier League next. Winning that."
Yep.
That's the mentality of Mason Mount. He's already thinking about winning the Premiership already. What a ball!
And Tuchel's right there with him too, man. Tuchel, Tuchel won that, and he enjoyed it.
He's going to win the Premiership. Trust me. I saw a really good stat actually. If Conte does come, then he joined he joined after the Euros. The last club he joined after Euros, Chelsea went and won the Premiership.
And Billy Gilmore.
What about Goatmore?
No, but you could say the last club he joined after Euros, he won the league with. So that could be Tottenham winning the league.
Nah, Tottenham won't win.
No, don't.
They'll never win the league. Tottenham
they don't have the necessary minerals.
Tottenham don't have minerals like this. Like this little baby here, man. This is the minerals here. This is minerals. Kiss that bag. You kiss that bag, bro. You kiss that
my god, bro! I don't like seeing that mustache stretching the bed.
Your face and the voice sinking together. I'm just so used to
I like it, Johnny. I like this face reveal, Johnny. Much better from you.
Looking like a Guardiola over there.
Ooh, I saw someone said Brexit Pep. I thought that was hilarious.
If Mason Mount balls out in England, what would you do? Would you still thank you, Southgate, but it's time to go?
What do you mean if he balls out?
If he balls out the Euros,
Southgate should be gone off the Euros anyway.
Southgate is. We don't even need to go there, really. We all know. We know what he's about.
Say it, Johnny, man. He ain't got the minerals.
He ain't got minerals, man. He ain't got minerals.
Wait, Johnny.
He's been taking lessons.
Johnny, would you take Lampard as an England manager?
Hell yeah. That's minerals. You know what?
Fattest minerals.
Lamps, man. England manager. Whoa.
Why'd you have to say that?
Big up Arsenal, Chelsea legends Morata, Kesman, Drinkwater.
Oh, come on, Scott.
Hey, was a hero, bro. Take that shit
I'm
back,
just throwing the name.
I don't like it.
Your name.
Kesman had a sick name, bro.
Yeah, Santana, man. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a Mason Mount Ballon d'Or edit, but what are you saying, bro?
yes, Liz.
Yeah,
get that shit popping, bro. Get it popping, mate. Oh, don't forget to show the Kai Havertz one today.
Johnny, you got to relax, bro. Johnny, you got to relax.
Check this edit, bro. This edit is
juicy,
man.
Good Justice. Good question. Good question.
You said you
It's not a debate.
Chester, bro. Why you gotta do this to us?
Just saying, who wins the midfield in the France v England match in the Euros? Kante v Mount. Who you got? Yeah, I can't lie. N'Golo's got him still.
They
Pogba at his
train
best.
with
You've
each
got
other, man.
Camavinga, Rabiot at his best. You've got who else have they got in that midfield?
Money's
gone.
doing them, man. Money's doing them.
Oh, that's
Money's doing them.
They got loads of ringers.
You didn't pick Camavinga.
Kante be too focused on Grealish, man. Minerals Mount will be there to just fucking score that 20-yarder, mate. You love
Actually, no, I can't wait if France against England in the semi-final, and Johnny would still back him out. To be fair, if against Kante.
Who do we play if we top the group?
No, Kante's our boy, man. Kante's like generational. Kante's world class. Mount's not at that level yet. Like, I'm not an idiot. Do you know what I mean?
Yo, someone clip that.
Oh,
no.
Let's have it. Minerals money. Oh, Lewis, you've just taken it to the next level, man. That's the next level, bro.
That man said 6. Fucking 6. I'm all here for
6
this,
Ballon
bro.
d'Ors. 6 Ballon d'Ors. Oh, that's got to be tweeted out. Just tweet it. Oh, wow.
Nah, yeah, bro, this one's for you and the MM Hive. You can have this
Yeah,
one.
MM Hive out. MM Hive. Let's go. Let's go.
Flipping hell.
There you go.
That's juicy, bro. That's awesome.
Right, anyone got any other final thoughts before we wrap this stream up?
I confirm we're for Chelsea, bro.
Just, I'm just looking for Money Mace on England shirt. Like, how is he playing though? That's all.
Well, we've seen how he's played for England recently, and he's looked fine.
No, he didn't play yesterday.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he wasn't playing yesterday. To be fair.
He's playing golf today, wasn't he?
No, it's because no Chelsea or Man City players were in their international squads.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the final, no. Because I had a little look because people were saying on the stream last night, Christensen got brought up, and I had a little look. Christensen wasn't playing for Denmark. Rudiger or Havertz or Werner weren't in the Germany squad. I don't think there was a City player wasn't in their squad. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, none of the players were in the squads.
Yeah.
The only one was B. Gilmore for Scotland. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm looking forward to that Chambers FC tomorrow, team of the season, actually.
Oh, I cannot wait. Yeah, we're going to be doing
team of the season,
and we're going to be talking about the Champions League final because I'm rubbing it in everybody's faces. But yeah, big up everyone who's locked in. We will be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow, so I can rip into everybody.
Get Babs,
how much you want to bet Babs is
Babs,
going to try and get some Arsenal
Babs,
players in his team?
Oi, Lewis, is it true, that the Arsenal lot were saying that their Invincibles is worth 2 Champions Leagues? Is that what I heard?
Something like that.
They probably were. These guys ain't got sense. Come on,
That is
man.
shameless, bro.
You know Babs is going to try and get in that team of the season.
Yeah.
Lewis, can you buy a crown for that podcast? So you can rock up to the podcast with a crown on your head and just keep saying Kings of Europe?
Havertz is clear of all of them.
I wasn't going to tell anyone, but that was the plan already.
And Mount's clear of that.
I can read it in your face.
Like, when I tell you King Shameless is making his debut tomorrow and he's going to be unbearable as fuck, be there, bruv. I cannot wait. But yeah, big up everyone who's
I get a robe as well.
Everything. We're getting everything, man. I'm going to meet my mates afterwards as well, and they're shook about how shameless I'm going to be too. So the crown's going everywhere. But big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We will leave you with a photo of our next Ballon d'Or winner and the Ballon d'Or. Big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. And as always, we are your champions of Europe. We know what we are. We know what we are.
We know what we are.